Hello, and welcome to another edition of Grammy's Protein Kitchen. I've been on a health journey since 2024 and have been able to lose about 70 pounds with the help of a GLP-1 medication. Hello, and welcome back to my kitchen. I think I'm finally starting to feel better. It's at the doctor again. Another course of prednisone, still doing my inhalers, and I'm doing them regularly, even if I feel like I don't need them. And I will say that I absolutely forgot to do it at the time I normally do it. I normally do it like 7:30, 11:30, 3:30, and then before bed. 11:30 came around and I looked at the clock and I'm like, oh, it's time to use my inhaler. So that was a good sign. Then this afternoon, I'm like looking at the clock. I'm like, it's 4:30. I didn't use my inhaler yet. So I used my inhaler then. So I'll be ready for bed tonight. But today I'm going to make a recipe that I've made in the past. Actually, I wasn't even thinking about this recipe, and my daughter had texted me and said, hey, can you send me the recipe for macaroni pie? So I was like, yeah, I can do that. Now, my original recipe has ground beef. I'm going to use ground turkey. My recipe does not have spinach. I'm going to add some spinach to it. So I'm going to doctor it up and make it a little more friendly with protein and fiber. And actually, the calories are coming down too. So I have a pot of water boiling. Well, it's not boiling yet. I'm waiting for it to boil. And I have the Barilla Protein Plus elbows. So I'm going to, you make a crust with macaroni and Parmesan cheese and egg and mix that together. And I grease the my pie plate here, and then I press it in to make it a pie shell. So I'm waiting for my water to boil so I can throw the pasta in. So I'm waiting for that. So I'm upping the protein and I believe the fiber also with the protein plus pasta. Now I have a pound of ground turkey here. I was preheating my frying pan, so I can throw that in there now and let that fry up. You wash my hands because I touched the turkey. And I was going to cut up celery and throw that in. That's in the original recipe. I didn't usually necessarily do the celery because the kids didn't all like the celery. But it's a quarter cup of chopped celery. My celery I had in the refrigerator was disgusting. So I threw that in the trash can because it was not usable. Okay, so I'm gonna, it's partly frozen yet. It's not fully defrosted. So that's gonna cook. And I need to cook that up first. And as soon as my turkey's done being cooked and I can throw my pasta in, it's looking like it should soon start to boil. And I'll come back and we can finish dinner up. Okay. The turkey looks like it's done. I'm still not boiling on my water. But I'm going to throw in a package of chopped spinach, the frozen spinach. I threw it in the microwave a little bit to defrost it, but I'm going to throw that in now so it gets warm and not frozen. Like I said, I've never done it with the spinach, but I was like, what can I do to make this a little bit healthier? So I figured I would throw some spinach in and the frozen stuff we usually have on hand. So I'm just gonna let that cook up. Yeah, we used to make this a lot. The kids seem to like this one. It was easy to do. Usually had burger on hand. Usually had pasta sauce. Usually had macaronis. Now I usually, when the kids were little, I would use the grated cheese in the green container. But we actually had some Parmesan cheese, so I grated some of that up to use. So I'm sure that's a whole lot better healthy for you than the green container. I have already preheated my oven to 350, so that part is done. So that'll be ready to go as soon as everything's together. Now the macaroni says to cook it for 5 to 7 minutes. I figured I would time it for 5 because it is going to go in the oven and bake longer. So it'll finish cooking in the oven if it's not quite done. I mean, it's done, but not as soft as some people may like it. When I'm continuing cooking something in the oven, I try to do it for the least amount of time on the stove so that I have enough time for it'll cook more. I'm gonna say that's good, and it says to use a 7-ounce package of macaroni, but this is 14 and a half ounces. It says 2 cups of uncooked, so I am gonna measure my 2 cups. And depending on what I'm doing with macaronis, I don't usually necessarily measure it as precise as this, but it's going to go in the pie crust. It's going to be our pie crust, so I don't want to have too much macaroni. the sound. So hopefully my phone will pick up my phone mic will pick up my voice enough that, but I can go through and see where my lost microphones at. I'm gonna guess that I need to charge them because I didn't charge them in a little bit. So hopefully the sound will be okay for the rest of the video. So anyway, I am cooking up the turkey with the spinach in it, and I put spaghetti sauce in. Like I said, it said to use a 15-ounce jar, 15.5-ounce jar. I forget where I found this recipe. I think it was in a magazine or something. But and that was probably 30 years ago. But it's about the consistency of a sloppy joe. If that didn't come across on the video. So I have to remember to charge my microphones in. So yeah, this is looking good. This is gonna be a little different than what we're used to, but difference not bad. It's got 28 seconds yet, but it didn't really. Let me check and get a pasta. No, I'm gonna give that. I'm gonna give that 2 more minutes because I don't think my water heated up enough. But it definitely needs more time because it's crunchy yet. Not totally crunchy, but it's partially crunchy. Okay, we're gonna get the rest of this started. Turn that down a little bit. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put 2 eggs in my bowl. And grab this fork, and I'm just gonna beat them up. Now, it says about adding 1/3 cup of Parmesan cheese and a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic salt. I just have a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder here, but I've got the cheese there. Drop my fork into the mess. Okay, so I'm just gonna let that sit now. When my pasta is done, I will drain the pasta and then I'll mix that in with this. And here's my timer. I'm just gonna, never did get real boily. Let me just see how, before I do remove it from the water. Okay, yeah, that's better. So let me put my strainer in the sink. And strain that. Probably wouldn't hurt to let the pasta sit for just a couple of minutes, but I'm gonna just, it's drained, it's hot, so it will start to cook up the eggs. The egg mixture there, but you're tossing that all over. Okay, and now I'm going to bring my pie plate, and I'm going to dump this into the pie plate. And now I'm going to shape it into a pie crust. I'm going to press it down on the bottom and going up the sides. And okay, now that will cook up and it will form a more solid crust. And I just splashed myself with sauce, but the sauce, the meat mixture is going to go into the center of the pie. Okay, set that back there. All right. There's my pie. Now I'm going to cover the pie. There's aluminum foil. And it goes in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes. So I'm going to set my timer for 25 minutes and we'll be back. Okay, we have about 6 seconds on our timer yet. And let's pull that out of the oven. Now, you need to remove the foil, and I need to let it sit for a couple of minutes. So there's that. We'll let it sit for a little bit before we cut a piece. I'm figuring that the pie, I have written down on my original instructions that it serves 6. Whether that's how I copied it or that's how I estimated it. But yeah, so 1/6 of the pie. How it was originally written was 390 calories, 26 grams of protein, and 3.5 grams of fiber. But the way I doctored it up, we have 335 calories, 31 grams of protein, and 4.7 grams of fiber. So there's more protein, more fiber, and less calories. So I'm very curious on how this is going to be. But you can see that the crust formed up around it, and I've got the meat and spinach mixture in there. I'm going to cut a piece a while, and I'm using a pie server. So we can let it cool a little bit on my plate. First piece never looks good when you take it out. You have that problem too? I have with other pies. And it didn't get all the crust out of the bottom either. But you can see how you get the, and I didn't use the fork yet to eat, so I just want to have a clean shot so I can take a nice picture after I've tasted it. Okay, so some of everything here on the fork, and see how it is. Yeah, I like it. It's good. So I'm looking forward to eating this for dinner tonight. And as always, thank you for coming and cooking with me in my kitchen today. And be sure to like the video. Helps YouTube push it out to more people. And be sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you won't miss the next video. Thank you.